It seems like the more that you can sacrifice in your life, the more success you can have in music. And I think this goes not just for music, but all things in life, right? If you want to be great, it takes extreme sacrifice. And today I'm at a crossroads, and by the end of this podcast, we're going to decide if I'm going to sell one of my most prized possessions, my Gibson Les Paul.
All right, you guys, welcome to the GOZA podcast, where we talk about all things rock and roll. If you're wondering about the line across our face, go check out our original music. So this is a crazy podcast, heartbreaking, very difficult because, like you said, we're at a crossroads on whether or not to sell the Les Paul that you guys all know. It's the one that would sit in the corner of this room, beautiful blue Les Paul.
Custom shop.
We all want to know, why are you selling it?
Well, obviously, like you said, it's an amazing guitar. It's custom shop, handmade in the USA, has this ultra rare, beautiful color, and it sounds just as amazing as it plays. And the reason that I'm selling it is because, as you know, we took out a lot of debt at the beginning of this year in order to fund GOZA. Okay? My whole music career has been sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice. And it has taught me, when I sacrifice, in the long run, it works out. And so my very first guitar, I was 12 years old. I needed to play electric guitar that day. I told my mom, hey, I want an electric guitar. This is June or somewhere else summertime.
How old were you?
12 years old. And so I tell her I need an electric guitar. She says, cool, maybe for Christmas. 6 months to a 12-year-old is a lifetime. So I'm like, screw that. I'm done with this. I really want, it was so passionate that I took all of my gaming systems and I went down to the pawn shop and I got ripped off. And I was so happy. And with that money, I bought my first electric guitar, some little cheap Stratocaster copy. So that got me on my way. Then I started playing and I started getting better at guitar exponentially fast, quicker than anything else in my life, and I knew that music was what I wanted to do. So more sacrifices, ultimately leave my hometown to go to music college where I meet Rani, so Rani too, she sacrificed everything in her little island of Hawaii to come to LA for music business. And that's family, that's friends, everyone everything that you grew up with. You're leaving all that in hopes of something bigger. And there's something that's like outside of you, like compelling you to go on this quest, right? Like that's what all great stories are made out of, like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and all this stuff. Like there's something making you go on this journey that you're not quite sure. You don't know how to put it into words. Other people think it might be illogical, but it's right. So the reason that we're considering selling it is to get out of debt, and the debt that we got into was to fund GOZA.
Yep.
So it's always like, okay, how can we get to the next step? How can we be resourceful? Because as musicians, we always want to complain. Oh, Spotify doesn't pay us enough. The industry sucks. What can we focus on? Getting a song out into the world. Okay, how do we do that? We have the power to do that. Okay, putting up a podcast. We have the power. We don't have no money. Okay, go into debt. Okay, now debt's coming on top of us and we can't get out of debt. Sell some of those assets, So guitars are great because they're kind of like liquidatable assets. And Ronnie did not want me to sell this guitar.
It's true. I spoke heavily against it. I said, hey, we can sell our coins. We have gold coins, silver coins. We can sell the baritone guitar. He has a beautiful Taylor baritone guitar
that I rarely play.
Yeah.
The reason that we decided not to sell that was because it needs a little bit of TLC.
Yeah.
So we got to get it to the shop and get it prepared for a full sale. And It's just not as popular of guitar as the Gibson Les Paul. We all know and love the Gibson Les Paul. It's iconic. You know, everybody in their career played a Gibson Les Paul at least one time. Mm-hmm. Even Jimi Hendrix, who is synonymous with the Stratocaster.
Mm. Right.
And that's why, you know, Gibsons, you got like older guys who are lawyers and accountants and stuff that they go out in their 40s and 50s and buy a stupid expensive guitar and they can't really play that well. It's because they want to feel, you know, like Jimmy Page playing in an arena, like the photos that they all seen, the songs that we all listen to. It's all those similar guitars. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, are you a collector or are you a guitar player? And I'm a guitar player.
Right. So speaking of collectors, let's talk about who bought the guitar.
Okay. So I put it up for sale. I took these amazing pictures and, you know, I put it up just a little bit more than what I bought it for. Took a nap that same day. Woke up to some offers. One of them was like some troll account that was lowballing me. So I think I sent him back an offer that was even more expensive than my listing price. And then the other offer was from somebody named Austin. So I go check out Austin's account, see his shop, and it's a big YouTuber guy by the name of Trogly.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who personally I'm a fan of his videos, you know? And so I was like a little heartbroken and also like, you know, a little proud that he would bid on this guitar. Because knowing that he's the one that's bidding on this guitar means that this guitar is a collectible. It's worth someone like him investing into. And B, it's at a lower price than it should be because he'll be able to flip it and make a profit on it. But at the end of the day, I'm not in the market of guitars. I'm in the market of making those babies scream.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a important distinction that I think all musicians have to make. Are you in it for the guitars or the music? And sometimes the music needs to go somewhere where the guitar can't take you. True,
exactly, because it's the musician that makes the guitar, not the other way around.
Right.
We love Les Pauls because of the guys who played them. Mm-hmm. Let's not get it twisted, folks. You know what I mean? If they would have played a plastic guitar, we'd be like, oh, that's the sound, you know? And, you know, there's just so many musicians who are stuck in this, like, attitude of victimization. And so many people who are stuck in this attitude of victimization. Mm-hmm. And so it's about being resourceful, you know?
Right, because, you know, when you're attached to these material objects or material circumstances, you're tying yourself down, you're stuck, you're trapped, and then you're a victim.
Right, you're literally attached.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, I want to go over here with the band, but it's going to take some extra resources.
Right.
But I'm so attached to these other resources that I could liquidate that would serve, you know, that it would serve me better to use them over here. And
right.
And this band, I mean, me and Rani, we're serious about this. You know, this whole podcast is, you know, not only to preserve rock and roll, but to ensure the future of rock and roll. And that's us. Mm-hmm. So we have our podcast where we talk about all the greats before us, you know, but we got a responsibility to do too. We got to pick up the flame. We got to pick up the torch and keep running, you know. Mm-hmm. And so many people are like, oh, rock and roll is dead. Yeah, if you make it dead. That's on you. You're deciding that, you know.
Yeah.
When's the last new band you went and looked up? When's the last vinyl of an up-and-coming band that you checked out?
100%.
So, and they're out there.
Yep.
You know.
And by the way, speaking of that, I think every great musician, and speaking of rock and roll, every great rock artist, when they first came out, they were heavily spoken out against. Oh, these guys, you know, trash. The new music is terrible, blah, blah, blah. You know, they've been through all of the criticism. And so that new up-and-coming band that you might think is trash, you never know. That might be the next Led Zeppelin, might be the next Beatles.
Right.
You just don't know. You constantly, even when I listen to music, how can I listen to this with new ears? No
Right.
judgments. Just listen to what it is and accept it.
Right, because it takes, in order to even make that art, people don't understand the sacrifice that it takes. To go on tour, you have to leave your family. Most touring musicians, you don't get a family because no wife wants to be at home frickin' while you're out on the road 3-6 months doing God knows who what, And and then we don't have stability. We don't have stable income. You sacrifice, anything like a 401k or health benefits. You don't get all that. You don't have money to put into a retirement account. It's all sacrifice for the art. You better love music because music don't always love you, And this goes for all things in life.
All things in life, all good things in life that's worth striving to achieve takes some level of sacrifice.
Right. And that just depends on how fast and how serious you want to get there,
By the way, guys, drop it in the comments if there's ever been something in your life that you've had to sacrifice something for, and in the end, it came out to be completely worth it.
Yep. So with that, we're going to say goodbye to the Les Paul. And,
do you feel good about it?
Oh, I feel super good. I feel a weight off my chest.
Is there any part of you that's like hard to do? Wow.
Because I know that there'll always be more guitars. And the guitars that I have that I'm keeping are the ones that are very special and needed for GOZA's music. So GOZA has its own sound. My guitar playing has its own particular voice that I've,
It's true. It really does have its own sound, and that guitar, unfortunately, just didn't have the sound that GOZA needs.
Right. It's that, the one that I'm selling, it's like too perfect.
Yeah.
I need a guitar that's going to fight me, And most Gibsons kind of fight you. But this one was a case queen, never taken it out on stage, only in the studio. So Trogly, take care of her. I hope she ends up in your own personal collection.
Oh, and then maybe we'll buy it back someday.
And I'll buy it back. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our original music.
Until next time.
And we got to play the guitar one last time. Anytime you sell a guitar, we got to hear it.
Let us know what you guys think of the guitar.